Today I'm busting some myths about tires. I'll tell you why all-season tires are a misnomer, and I'll explain how they really work. I'm also talking about what makes for a good tire. We'll also take a glimpse of the new airless tire that's coming out next year, and we'll see how the unique tires used by NASA, F1 racing cars, and even Tesla cars differ from tires on the average passenger car. There are many myths when it comes to tires, and frankly, I'm tired of hearing them. So let's just bust a few of them. All cars come with spare tires. Wrong yet again. This used to be standard, but not anymore. Believe it or not, around 1 in 3 new cars don't come with a spare tire in the trunk. Instead, there's a temporary mobility kit with a tire sealant and a tire inflator or run flat tires. So if you do get a flat tire, all you have to do is apply the sealant to the valve stem and then use the inflator to reinflate it. The problem is, if your tire is anything more than a small hole, you're probably going to have to get your vehicle towed. Still, another myth has to do with the digits on the sidewall of your tire. Some people say that those digits tell you the correct tire pressure, but in reality, the digits tell you the size and kind of tire you have, as well as the maximum cold inflation PSI that the tire is rated for. Not the recommended pressure specific for your car, just the maximum pressure. To find the recommended tire pressure for your vehicle, you should check the label inside your vehicle's driver's door or the owner's manual instead. The last myth is that you should never continue driving if you get a flat tire. Actually, run flat tires are becoming ever more popular these days. They let you keep driving after a puncture so you can make it to the next auto repair shop. More manufacturers are using these tires because the extra cost of 4 run flats ends up being less than the cost of a spare tire, wheel, and jack. To see if your car has run flat tires, look inside the driver's door, in your owner's manual, or check the tire sidewall for one of the following codes: RFT, ROF, EMT, DSS, XRP, ZP, or ZPS. When it comes to choosing tires for your vehicle, you may have many options to choose from. I'm talking tires for everything from off-roading to winter, summer, and more. But of course, of all these tires, the most generally versatile is an all-season tire. But don't be fooled. Many people think all-season tires will cover you for each and every different road and driving condition. But actually, it's a misnomer. Let me explain. All-season tires are built to last through weather conditions and generally all the seasons. They're like Swiss Army knives. The reason for this comes down to the thread that's designed for hot and cold temperatures. All-season tires are also the cheaper option in the long run. They also make less road noise, meaning you get a quieter ride. In general, all-season tires give you a smoother ride because they offer better handling as long as the weather isn't extreme. By contrast, summer tires have better handling, grip, and performance in the heat. But once temperatures fall below 40, summer tires don't perform as well, which means you have to switch the car to winter tires. Relatively speaking, all-season tires can tackle weather conditions like rain and snow better than drier conditions, but they also wear out sooner if you're driving them all the time, in all weather conditions. Speaking of weather conditions, let me reiterate that all-season tires are not the best option when it comes to extreme weather conditions. Yes, they're designed to last all seasons. However, when it comes to extreme cold, for example, the tread of all-season tires stiffen, and this decreases its ability to provide traction. On the other hand, the tread rubber compounds of winter tires are designed to remain flexible to help the winter tire grip the road better in cold weather. Whether or not all-season tires are the best choice for you really depends on where you live. If you live in a mild climate of varying weather throughout the year, then all-season tires is your best bet. But if you live in a place that's mostly cold year-round, winter tires may be the best choice during those extreme months. If you want to know what tires are best for your car, you have to understand what makes for a good tire. And actually, there are many different factors involved. For example, the materials that the tire is made of. Tires can be made of materials like natural rubber, synthetic rubber, nylon, steel, silica. It comes from sand, polyester, carbon black, petroleum, and more. Some tires are composed of as many as 200 different raw materials. These materials are combined with rubber compounds to create different parts of a tire. Another factor is the tire's softness. For example, the tire's softness has an impact on the tire's dry traction, which is pretty much a tire's traction ability on dry surface. It has a lot to do with the compound that's used to construct the tire. In most cases, tires that have the best dry traction have softer tread compounds. Wet traction, on the other hand, measures the tire's grip on wet pavement. One of the most important variables of wet traction is the tread design. Tread that has deep grooves that channel water out from under the tire ultimately translates to better wet traction. Deep grooves help you avoid a film of water from forming under the tires when you drive. So if you have a set of tires that have good wet traction ratings, you have a better chance of avoiding hydroplaning. And there's also tire size. The bigger a tire, the more grip it has on the road. The wider a tire, the more surface area it covers on the road, which means you get better handling and maneuverability. You also need to consider tire structure. Radial tires share common parts. Take tread, for example. Tread is made up of synthetic and natural rubber. Tread is what ensures you'll have good grip, high mileage, and water expulsion on the road. There's also jointless cap plies. This is a layer found directly below the tread. This is what enables cars to travel at high speeds. Basically, it's made up of a single strong cord of nylon that's embedded in the rubber. Then there's the casing. The casing is what cushions the tire and contains air. The air is what carries the tire load. The textile cord ply controls the internal pressure of the tire and maintains its shape. The inner liner is an airtight layer of butyl rubber that controls tire pressure and acts like an inner tube. The sidewall is the exterior wall of the tire, and it's connected to the tread by the tread shoulder. It's made of natural rubber and protects the casing from external damage and weather conditions. The tire bead connects your tire to the wheel. The tire bead component makes up the edge of the tire that sits on the wheel groove. But no matter how good your tire is, most tires share a common enemy, the nail. Even the most advanced tire is often no match against a tire puncturing nail. And many tire makers have been looking into non-pneumatic or airless tires. For the most part, we've seen a share of concepts in car shows, but never in practical use on American roads. But recently, Michelin designed a tire that has no air in it at all. It's called the Michelin Optis tire. The company expects to launch these tires as early as 2024. The first thing you notice when you look at this tire is its sidewall. You can see right through it. You can see the flexible curved veins that are made of what can be described as glass reinforced plastic. If you drove over a nail in a car fitted with Optis tires, the worst that could happen would be a clicking sound. That's it. Other benefits to the new Michelin tires is that you no longer need a jack, tire inflator kits, or even spare tires. And you don't have to check your tire pressure ever. Now, mind you, these tires are being designed at the time that EVs are taking over the car industry. This means these tires could possibly be designed to handle the unique torque that's inherent with all EVs. Once Optis tires hit the market, Michelin said it'll keep up to 200 million tires out of global landfills. Just think about how many tires are thrown out each year because of irreparable sidewall cuts or because of being improperly inflated. The tires that NASA uses for its moon rover don't require air pressure either. After all, different planets have constantly changing conditions, varying pressure, and extreme temperatures that don't exist here on Earth. For instance, at temperatures below minus 250 degrees, rubber can literally explode and break into pieces. To avoid such problems, NASA did a few things to its vehicle tires. First of all, it made the tire skin thinner. I'm talking even thinner than a credit card. It also added what it calls grousers to keep the vehicle straight and give it better traction. Just look at the wheels of the Apollo Lunar Roving Vehicle, or LRV. NASA built the structure on what's called a pantograph. Basically, it's a set of wires that have been over and under woven to ensure the tire doesn't sink into the ground. NASA also added what it called a bump stop, which keeps the tire from getting deformed when the rover hits a bump. If you're a fan of Formula One, then you already know how critical F1 tires are. When it comes to the average passenger car, tire makers generally prioritize comfort, noise, and wet rolling resistance. But F1 tires, on the other hand, are specifically designed to provide maximum grip, durability, and stability on a racetrack. For example, one difference is tire depth. In a normal passenger tire, the amount of tread depth is proportional to the tire's mileage performance. Higher tread depth means higher mileage, but an F1 tire is a slick tire with no pattern at all. Also, a typical passenger car tire is about 3 times thicker than F1 tires. Just think about it. Passenger tires are designed for handling potholes and debris on the road, so the upper sidewall area needs to be thick. By contrast, F1 tires are designed to drive on well-maintained tracks. Also, F1 cars need superior handling, and they achieve that by reducing the amount of rubber in the sidewall, which makes it stiffer. Normal passenger tires are designed for durability and longevity. The goal is to have the tires last for tens of thousands of miles in various conditions. But F1 tires need to withstand high-speed forces that are generating during F1 racing. Believe it or not, those speeds can sometimes reach over 5 times the force of gravity. F1 tires last for just a few races, and they get changed frequently during the season to maintain peak performance. Non-Tesla owners may not know this, but Tesla cars can't use average car tires. Tesla recommends special Tesla-approved tires for its vehicles. One of the most noticeable things about Tesla tires is they have a layer of acoustical foam inside the tire. This, combined with the lack of an internal combustion engine, is what helps give Tesla extremely quiet rides. Tesla tires are also heavier than normal passenger tires. Reason is, electric motors are famous for their ability to deliver high amount of torque instantaneously, which means increased tire wear. EVs themselves themselves are also heavier than your average passenger car. Because of these two factors, Tesla-approved tires have stiffened sidewalls that don't lose their shape. This also contributes to longer range. But on top of that, Tesla recommends the drivers replace their tires about every 6 years and rotate them every 60 to 250 miles. That means you're looking at anywhere between $900 for a full replacement on a Tesla to $1,500 or more on a Tesla Model X or Roadster. Labor costs are going up for Tesla, so you might be looking at an additional $150 in labor to change the tires. As car makers work to electrify their lineup, tire makers are working to ensure their tires are EV compatible. Take Continental Tires, for example, which is one of the world's leading tire manufacturers. Recently, they announced that all of its passenger tire lines are now compatible for EVs. For a tire to be EV compatible, it has to be efficient and sustainable and have reduced noise levels, low rolling resistance, and high service life while prioritizing safety. Analysts expect to see an increase in tall and narrow EV tires. With this shape, there's less aerodynamic drag or rolling resistance. As well, because battery electric vehicles tend to be heavier than ICE and hybrid vehicles, EV tires need to be able to handle more weight. For the same reason, another EV trend is to increase the tire's air pressure to compensate for EV's weight. But now you tell me, do you use all-season tires, and what's been your experience? Please share by commenting below. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for your support.